Welcome back, folks. We're looking at all of the operations that you learned in one dimension back in grade school, and we're extending them to the complex plane so that we can do them in two dimensions. We've built up, we're at our last operator, division. Okay, we want to divide numbers. We have the building blocks to do that because division is really just inversion of one of the numbers and then multiplication. Now, let's take a simple example. 6 divided by 2. Well, we know that's going to be 3, but it's really 2 inverted, which is 1/2, and then we multiply that by 6 to get us to 3. So let's write that out, okay? And let's go old school with the operator there. 6 divided by 2. I want you to get that grade school feel to these operators. Okay. Really what we're doing is saying 6 times 1/2. Okay, and that's going to be equal to 3. So what we're doing here is invert the second operand, and multiply by the first. Kind of like subtraction, right? Except we were negating and adding, and now with division we're multiplying, or we're inverting and multiplying. Okay, so let's get an example. Let's get a 2D example. There's your 1D example. Let's get a 2D. Complex numbers, right? And this is going to be easier in polar. So we have 6 at an angle of 75 divided by 2 at an angle of 10, and that's going to end up being 3 at an angle of 65. Okay, so let's figure this out here. Do I have this generally somewhere? Yeah, I do. We'll do that at the end. Okay, so we take the second operand, and this one's going to be our red one. Okay, we take our second operand, 2 at an angle of 10, and that 2 at an angle of 10 is going to look something like this. Okay, I'll put it over here, and we negate it. Or no, I'm sorry, we invert it. I'm still stuck in subtraction. Okay, so 2 is going to become 0.5, and 10 is going to become -10. All right, so we invert it, and we end up here. 0.5 at an angle of -10. Okay, and then we multiply by the first operand. Which was 6 at an angle of 75. Okay, so let's see, grab this. All right, so we get that 0.5 at an angle of -10, and we're multiplying by 6 at an angle of 75. So take that 0.5 and make it 6 times as long. That's going to be a length of 3, and then rotate it by 75 degrees. We're going to rotate it up here to 65, so we get 3 at an angle of 65. Okay, if I'm stating this in general, then we can take two complex numbers, polar form preferred. Okay, in general. Okay, if I have two numbers, one divided by the other, I'm going to divide their magnitudes. Okay, the second one gets divided into the first one, and then because I negate this angle, when I end up multiplying, it becomes θ1 minus θ2. So order ends up mattering, just like it does in division here. Okay, so we're still stretching and rotating, we're just doing the opposite, right? We're dividing the magnitudes and we're subtracting the denominator's angle from the numerator's angle. Okay, and that's division. You've been doing this all along. Now we're doing it in 2 dimensions. And this is the important stuff. Through all of this, have I mentioned square root -1 at all? I have not. I have not. Okay, it's true. It's not that it's not true. Square root of -1 is in fact I, or J, as I would say. let's look at that in the next video. Okay, it's true, but it's not the most important thing. You already know the most important thing. Okay, stay tuned and good luck, folks.